Omar, Omar, since I saw you last in Detroit, now you've been to California and you saw the picture being put together. Tell us a little bit about that.
I went to the studio. I was very excited because we hadn't seen, no one has seen anything of this picture. So I was very impatient to go and watch David while he was cutting the film and putting it together.
That's David Lean, you've been
David Lean, yes. And it's a very exciting thing because when you're shooting a film, you do the things, you know, you're engrossed with what you're doing and you're concentrating on your character, on your part, on the scene, but you don't see it in your mind's eye like he does, David Lean does, because obviously he's a director and he's sitting as a spectator when we're doing it. But to see the picture, once they start putting the sound, and then you see now it's getting better, and then they put the music on, and it's much better.
And you watch that? You know,
and I watch that in stages like that.
Does it make you want to be a director someday?
Yes. I think it's a natural thing for an actor to desire to be a director. I don't say that they have to be good directors, but it's a natural thing because directing is like acting all the parts, really. You know, it's playing all the parts through different people. It's telling the other all the actors.
That's right. And you not only that, but you can act all the parts really,
right.
and be the
I can
boss.
also act the girls' parts.
Is that what your secret ambition? But no, it hasn't.
But
what have you been doing socially? Never mind all the business now. You know, who'd you go out with when you were in Hollywood?
I haven't had any social life. Oh, I met Soraya, you know.
Yes.
And
is this the first time?
Yes.
Now you would be a good combination.
Yes, we're sort of half Oriental, both of us.
That makes one whole. Oriental, two halves.
And she's a delightful person. I didn't know her, and there was a party in her honor, so I met her there, and then we had dinner one evening. It's absolutely delightful.
And how about here in New York, Omar?
I haven't any time for any social life, really.
You got to bed late last night.
I got to bed. Last night I went to dinner at a nice place, and then we went and had a drink somewhere.
By the time
I got back home, it was very late because I was doing a television show last night, which ended quite late. So
you were on Johnny Carson's show last
night.
That's right.
Last night, and so I only got away very late. By the time I had dinner and went somewhere.
Omar, you go from city to city. I mean, you have been on this tour. So do you remember any of the people who interviewed you? Did you remember me?
Oh, yes, certainly.
You better say it.
I always remember all the people if I meet them again in the same country. What I find because I meet lots of people, but if I meet somebody in Madrid, say, and then a year later meet that same person in New York, I don't recognize them.
It's difficult, out of context.
You know, if I meet them again in Madrid, I'll recognize them.
I know, and I think they want us to end this interview because there are other people waiting. Omar Sharif, I'm going to see the film tomorrow night. Good luck. I hear Dr. Zhivago is a pretty wonderful film.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right.
I don't know whether to call you Omar or Doctor.
Please call me Omar. No.
What happens when somebody is a film star in Egypt? 20 movies, the #1 matinee idol of Egypt, and then with 3 movies, starting with Lawrence of Arabia, the Yellow Rolls Royce, and then all of a sudden you're an international film star.
Well, it's a wonderful feeling. You need, first of all, a lot of luck. You need to get a picture like Lawrence of Arabia. Such an attractive character to the audience it was. And you know, it's no use even having a wonderful part in a picture that is not going to be successful. It won't be easy to be quickly recognized and quickly successful if the picture is not successful. The important thing is to be in a successful picture for a start. It's such a lucky thing, really.
Well, what's your emotion then when all of a sudden you're called and someone says, we would like you to play the title role in probably the most important motion picture in the last 3 or 4 years?
Yes, I'll tell you what happened to me is that I was struck absolutely speechless, and I got a sort of shaking fit because I couldn't really believe it because I wanted to be in this film. And when I heard that David Lean was making it, I got myself the book and read it and looked for a part for myself. It never occurred to me that they would ask me to play Dr. Zhivago. So I said, now what character can I play in this film? And I found myself a part, and I called my agent. I said, try and hustle me in, in the picture. And in fact, this is the part that Tom Courtenay plays in the film. Very brilliant. And I was waiting for the answer on this conniving thing that I had done to get this part. And suddenly I get a phone call. I'm in Belgrade, Yugoslavia. And it's David Lean, and he says, would you consider playing the title role? And I said, what title role, David? He said, Dr. Zhivago. And I put the phone down, and I just couldn't make any reply. Yeah, I couldn't. This is the feeling I had, and I got...
Well, that was your emotion as an actor. Now, what was your emotion as a father when you worked with your son on the set in the early stages of Dr. Zhivago?
Well, it's a terrifying thing, because I want my son to be an actor eventually. But a child, it's so difficult for a child really to act in front of the camera, because what it requires really is a lot of concentration and to be able to focus on things. And children can't do that, they're always looking away, and they wonder why they're being made to stand on one spot for such a long time. And I was terribly nervous because they're sitting behind the camera. It's as if you're laying an egg all the time, you go, come on, you want the words to come out.
He was a very good actor.
He was wonderful, yes. I was very pleased.
Do you ever feel that now all of a sudden, in a relatively short span, as an international star, that with the title role of Dr. Zhivago, and if the movie is as successful as everyone anticipates it will be, that you might have reached your peak, that there will never be another role as big or as demanding or as important for you?
Yes, it's very difficult. Where do you go from there? You're quite right. But there are other types of it. In other words, Dr. Zhivago is a great picture, but you can't compare it to a good comedy. That's another type, which is still another peak to reach, do you see?
Have you ever been to Philadelphia?
Yes, I was there for about 24 hours.
I've heard people say they've been to Philadelphia for 2 weeks one day.
What?
One day felt like 2 weeks.
Oh, well, I was there for Lawrence of Arabia, sort of promotion thing. And all I saw really was the interior of television studios and radio shows. There was one show at midnight which I went to, I remember that. And I had a marvelous meal at Bookbinders in Philadelphia, which I think is wonderful.
You come back, we'll show you the town.
Thank you very much.
Omar Sharif, Dr. Zhivago, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more on 10 Around Town in a minute.
Stand by.
Say, I've never been to Cairo before, but this must be Cairo because you're an Egyptian, right?
Yes.
And this is Omar Sharif, and we're gathered here not in Cairo, but in New York City. And there must be a reason we're here. Let's see. You're opening a restaurant.
Omar Khayyam.
Yeah, Omar Khayyam is a great
There must
food
be
center.
one, yeah. They've always got an Omar Khayyam restaurant everywhere.
What does Omar Khayyam mean?
It's the name of his Persian.
For the partners, we have a false start. We have a little jam. Relax a minute.
All these gems.
Start.
We're on our way, huh? All right. Let me see now. You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to go to a nice restaurant, say an Egyptian one now. This is Omar Sharif, and he's Egyptian. Do you know of any good Egyptian restaurants in the United States?
Well, I'm sure every city you go to, there's always a restaurant. It's always called Omar Khayyam, and they've always got shish kebab.
Yeah, shish kebab and mulligan stew and Welsh pancakes.
Right.
And it's always run by an Irishman.
Welsh rabbit.
Yeah, Welsh rabbit. Yeah. Well, an amazing thing, we were just sitting here, and Omar said to me, you must be Irish, and I said, no, Welsh, and you started to speak to me in Welsh.
Well, I said the only thing I know, which is Shudihi Kariat,
What does that mean?
which means how are you, my love, or something.
That'll go over great in Hazelden, Pennsylvania, I can say Borada, which is good morning, and then I'm shot for the day there. Well, what brings you to this noble city of New York?
Well, we have this small film that's opening tomorrow in New York.
Dr. Kildare's
Doctor
name?
something, Doctor, I can never pronounce it.
I can't pronounce either.
No one can.
Zhivago?
Zhivago. Difficult.
Well, it starts off with a Z. If you see anything
Yeah.
that starts with a Dr. Z, you want to go see it. Well, what role do you play in it?
Well, I play Dr. Zhivago himself in person.
Oh, why?
With stethoscope and all.
And this was shot in noble country of Spain?
Yes.
Well, where does it take place?
In Russia, in Moscow, in Siberia, in the Urals, all over.
Did you have to
Lots
learn any
of
Russian?
No, I had to learn how to bear the cold, and if you can imagine a poor, bewildered Egyptian walking knee-deep in snow, you've got a pretty good image of what it looked like.
That'd be wild indeed. Well, how did this poor little Egyptian get into the snow? What was the trail that led you down the road to this?
Well, we had to have snow for a large part of the picture because a lot of it happens during the winter in Siberia, and we had to have enormous expanses, endless steps of snow.
But going back beyond that, back to when you were just a boy in Egypt, how did you end up in this?
Well, I was a boy. I was a boy. In every school you have a little boy who organizes the school plays and the school productions and the variety shows for the other kids. That was me. And I want to be an actor. And I was very lucky. I immediately had an opportunity when I finished school to make a picture which was very successful. I went on from there.
Just that easy, right?
It was all very easy, very fortunate.
Looking in the crystal ball here, what do you see in the future?
Well, where do you go from, after having made a thing like Dr. Zhivago? It's rather difficult to find things, and I find myself terribly worried. I'm afraid I'm going to make some terrible mistake now, and I can't make up my mind about the thing I want to do next.
Omar, I just heard the telephone ring in the background, and I think that's a friend of mine who wants to talk to the two of us about opening up a little Egyptian restaurant. Will you join me?
Sure.
All right, we'll go see Dr. Zhivago first, and then we'll go down. You can cook, and I'll stand out in front and be the head waiter.
Okay.
No, we'd better do it the other way.
All right.
Omar Sharif, thanks for dropping by.
Okay. Well, that's fair.
Fair?
A piece of chat.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Pay your tax to the...
Congratulations.
Those of you looking in have seen this young fellow on our show a couple of times in the last month, and since we last talked to him, I would imagine he's covered quite a bit of America, promoting his new picture that opens here in New York tomorrow night, Dr. Zhivago. Omar Sharif, by now, are you getting a little weary of traveling around the United States?
I'm a little bit tired, but there's such an amount of excitement going, about the picture opening tomorrow, and it's keeping me excited and it's keeping me interested and enthusiastic, and so I don't feel so tired after all.
Do you find as the big night draws nearer that you're becoming more?
Oh, absolutely. I'm in a terrible state of nerves because I haven't seen the film, you see, and I'm going to see it for the first time on the opening night, and an opening night is a nerve-wracking thing anyway, but with seeing a picture for the first time, not knowing how you've done, really, it's terrifying.
And this is all new to me because I would imagine that the star of the picture would be given some privileges of actually seeing it before the general public.
Oh, but no one has. You see, the picture was only completed last night. I mean, it only came into New York last night. They just finished putting it together, you see. It was very close.
Well, I certainly hope that David Lean does as well in his directing all of you great actors in this picture as he did with, your picture that you did with him, Lawrence of Arabia, and his other picture, Bridge on the River Kwai. You have all the ingredients of a great picture, and I wish you the best, and I think it's going to be a great one.
Thank you, Ed.
I hope
so much. I hope so, too.
Okay. And I hope all the critics like it. Thank you for talking with us, Mr. Sharif, and I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you.
Right, thank you. I just wanted that.
Gerald Pratley, CBC, Detroit.
Thank you. Mr. Sharif, after I spoke to you in Madrid, where you were on location for Dr. Zhivago, did you travel anywhere else to film any of the scenes?
Yes, we had to go. In fact, you came in February,
yes,
if I remember, and we had to go to Finland for about 3 weeks because what actually happened is we were promised a lot of snow in this certain town in the north of Spain we were making the picture, and we didn't get the promised snow, and we needed quite a large, barren expanse of snow, something to look like the steppes of Siberia, and we couldn't get it in Spain, so we had to all go to Finland for 3 weeks, right on the Russian border, as a matter of fact, and we did a bit of shooting there for all these scenes that required endless horizons of snow.
That was the closest that Dr. Zhivago ever got to home, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
I suppose this is rather a foolish question, but was there ever any considerations given or attempts made to film in Russia?
No, because you see, the novel is banned in Russia, and one assumed that it was not going to be possible for them to allow you to shoot the picture of that novel there. And you know, they prevented Boris Pasternak from accepting the Nobel Prize. And so David Lean knew that they weren't going to give him permission, and he went on a long trek with his car to find a suitable location. And the trouble with the northern countries is that you need to shoot in winter for the snow, and the days are very short. See, they've got 4 hours of daylight in most of these northern countries, which would be ideal otherwise, and it's not possible to make a film under those conditions.
I understand, Mr. Sharif, that at one time David Lean was considering filming in Canada.
Yes, he was. In fact, he went to Canada and looked at the locations, but finally he found everything he needed in Spain, really, because he had some spring scenes. The film goes through the 4 seasons, and he had to shoot it in that, during those seasons. He didn't want to fake spring or fake autumn, fall.
Your career has been outstanding since the time you began in films, Mr. Sharif. Have you? What do you what do you attribute this to? The fact that you have chosen your parts very carefully?
No. I think there's an element of luck involved, which is very important in an actor's career. I started with a wonderful thing, and this is the most important thing. I think the first time the people recognize you and you form a sort of image. If you're associated with a great picture like Lawrence of Arabia and a marvelous character like the character I portrayed in Lawrence of Arabia, you're well on your way to a success. And then I had this other opportunity now when David Lean required me to play this part in this picture, which is a dream part for any actor.
Yet many unknown actors have had good opportunities in their first film, and yet, in spite of the praise and their success, we've not heard from them again.
Well, that also depends on what you do with your opportunities as well, and if you keep getting more chances. Sometimes you get this one opportunity and then you form a sort of image that people want to stereotype, to keep you in. When I did Lawrence of Arabia and was successful, they kept offering me to play the Desert Hawk every time, and I kept turning that down. And people didn't conceive of casting me, say, to play Dr. Zhivago, except that David Lean knew me well enough to know that I could do that.
Did you find it a difficult character?
Zhivago?
Yes.
Terribly difficult.